Alright, you guys, here's sort of an example of what I want you to do in your assessments. I have a client here. She is a runner. She also suffers from sort of chronic low back pain. Nothing's been diagnosed. And so we're just trying to find a way for her to walk and run where she can feel a little more comfortable, confident, and experience less pain. So my assessment started with walking gait. And I'm watching her on the right video here, and what I'm observing is that she adducts. She adducts really well. She has that supermodel walk, and that she's adducting more on her left hip. You can see the shirt line, even the pink and the black, show you her pelvic tilt, and she adducts a little bit less on her right hip, but both hips adduct really well. We can say that she has long range in hip adduction in walking gait. One thing we know is that the pelvis is attached to the lumbar spine, sits right below it. So if we have that amount of hip adduction, that was an awful drawing. If we have hip adduction but the spine stays up and down, I'll show you here. We know that there's going to be a compression here on that side and a stretch on that side. And we can say that the more that happens, the more stress is going through the lumbar spine. So that's a concern for me. I'm thinking that she adducts really well. I'm wondering if she adducts too much in her walking gait. So that's what I see on the right. And so what I want to prove is that she can get in and out of or on and off her foot in gait without adducting that much. So she's showing me on the right that she has a ton of range. I want to test on the left that she can walk and get in and out with less range. So I gave her something to hold up overhead that's going to stabilize or reflexively call on more core strength, and you can see even in her greatest adduction on the left, it's far less than what we see on the right. And so what I'm proving is that she can walk, she can perform the pattern with less range, and that's an important skill for me to know, because part of what I want to do now is coach her to walk and run with less range, and to get on and off that foot a little bit quicker, and to do so with a little bit less pelvic tilt in the frontal plane there. So that's an example of something I noticed over here on the right in my generic assessment. Here was me doing something a little bit different on the left to see if she could prove that she has this skill that she doesn't show me over here on the right. So hopefully that's a good example of what I want you guys to do in this week's assignment. Let me know if you have questions.